and you move from it, and you don't know what that is.
Yeah.
You don't know what's decided that. You know, it's like when you're lost. A part of my brain's got me lost, but then there's another bit that I don't know what it is, where they go left. And you do, and then you go, remember that time when you called me and I said I don't know where I am, and I couldn't concentrate.
Think of that! I called him! I went, Carl, what are you doing? I don't know where I am.
What do you mean you didn't know where you were?
I got lost. I went
in
wandering.
London you got lost?
Yeah. And I went wandering, and then, you know...
It's when he first moved into his new place. He was walking back from his old place to his new place, and he didn't know where he was. He tried to take a short.
How can you ever really get lost in London, though? I'm just... As a cabbie.
Well, yeah, I don't want to do that, because I feel bad pulling one over and then saying, where am I?
Yeah, they don't appreciate that, do they?
But I found my way back, didn't I?
Yeah.
But you told me one time that you much prefer getting lost. You love wandering around and getting lost. You said that's much better.
Yeah, it was a cold day. It was a cold day. I just wanted to be at home. I had things to do. There's a time and place to be lost.
Well, go on.
Well, a place you don't know.
What's the place to be lost?
Somewhere you don't know.
Right, good. Okay,
and the time?
The
time when you're not in a rush.
Right.
But that time I was in a rush, and I was cold.
So a typical argument in your head is what? I'm lost. I'll do one side of the brain, you do the other side of the brain, okay, in your head, okay? Carl.
What?
This isn't where we should be. You want to go home, didn't you? This isn't your house, because it's a field. You live in a house, don't you? Why are we standing in a field? This isn't your house. You're meant to go home, but you've walked into a field.
No, but that wouldn't. I've never been that lost, where I'm walking across a field. At the edge of the field, I'd go, hang on a minute, this isn't right. I wouldn't get in the middle, I wouldn't go that far. I'd go, right, I definitely shouldn't be here.
You did once. You were in the middle of a field and your dad had to rescue you and carry you
that's when I was a kid, because I was reading as I was walking.
And he never read again.
But there's another sense. I was in the middle of nettles there.
Yeah.
I'd walked. It was at my brother's wedding in Cornwall, and I was walking near a cliff edge,
reading a book.
And okay, so okay. Carl, I know you're enjoying this book. Can I have a word with you? Just look past the book a minute. There's a big drop.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened, and then that's when my other senses went, hang on a minute, I'm being stung. Load of nettles and stuff. And I just had to wait there for ages until my dad sort of thought, where's Carl? I was there for about an hour and a half.
You showed a book.
Fuck me, like a cartoon.
But why are you wandering off reading a book when it's your brother's wedding?
No, this was like, we were in, I think it was St Ives in Cornwall.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was in St Ives, and just, you know, it was a nice day in that. There was no telly in the place. It was a horrible house. It was haunted. Actually. No, honestly.
No, not honestly. It wasn't haunted. There's no such thing as ghosts. So you saying honestly it was haunted means fuck all.
It's the weirdest place and weirdest sensation I've ever had. I spoke to a woman called Mrs. Battersby.
Right.
Who sat on my bed keeping me up all night. My mum came up, she said, you look shattered. I said, yeah, I haven't had a kip all night. She said, why? I said, I've been talking to Mrs. Battersby. She said, who's that? I said, no, some old woman. Now, I can't remember it now, but that's what I did then. And then,
Sorry, so Mrs. Battersby didn't exist, is that what you're saying? She was the ghost?
Yeah.
Wasn't the landlady?
No, there's no landlady. It's a big house, about 12 bedrooms in it.
Right.
Dead cheap to stay there, because it was a wreck. My mum and dad went out
Were you
one
ill?
night.
Did you have flu at the time?
No, I had nothing like that.
So you were sitting up, but you were awake, and you were having a conversation with Mrs. Battersby.
What did she look like?
I can't remember. I can't even remember having the chat now.
Right,
but at the time I was like, oh, she just doesn't shut up. Chatting all night.
So you don't remember this happening? Or you do remember it happening?
No, I remember that, like, if I see my mum now and I mention St Ives, she'll go, oh yeah, Mrs. Battersby. She remembers coming in, because she was older than me, wasn't she? So, to her, my mum.
Was she?
Yeah.
How old was Mrs. Battersby? She was older than both of you.
She was old, because I'm calling her Mrs. Battersby. If she was my age, I'd probably say, oh, it's Susan or whatever.
Right, sure.
You call older people by the surname, don't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, so she kept me up all night. Dunno, I'm thinking of pictures at the wedding.
Why do you have to go through other things to just have a memory?
How old do you reckon you were?
I don't understand why you haven't got direct access to your memories.
How old do you reckon you were?
Your mum was older though, yeah?
You must have a vague idea of when this
I'm
event
thinking about
was.
it now. I'm thinking. I'm
Okay.
picturing the picture of myself at this wedding.
Okay.
And how old are you? What are you doing?
How tall were
I'd say
you?
I look about.
How were you?
I'd say I look about 7 or 8. Looking at the picture.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So Mrs. Battersby is chatting away to you. You don't remember what she said, but you do remember having the conversation.
No, he doesn't remember it
I
at
don't
all.
remember the chat now.
Well, then
So-
why are you telling? You
not
must
your
remember it
memory.
because you're telling us about
It's not
it.
your
Because it's a
memory.
memory. My mum's reminded me of it.
Yeah, but all it says is, oh, this is so far removed. This is hearsay that your mum said you spoke to a ghost once, and you don't even remember the ghost.
Mrs. Battersby.
No,
Yeah,
you
no, but
remember
you
the
don't
name
remember
because
her.
your mum reminded you of
In
it.
a court of law, if there was a ghost court, they go hearsay, thrown out of court.
Right.
You
yeah.
don't have a memory of Mrs.
No,
Battersby.
look, I know that when I was a kid,
Yeah.
I ate a beetle. I ate a beetle because I thought it was licorice. Now, I can't remember that now.
You can't remember that, but you know it happened because your mother told you it happened.
Exactly.
Right. But the fundamental thing is that we can believe you ate a beetle, right? Because that is something that could happen in real life.
But-
what we're questioning is that you spoke to a ghost.
What sort of beetle was it?
Just one of them standard beetles, just a black shiny one.
Thing is, right, a couple of years ago, we were in the Ivy, and the food came, and there's a big blob of wasabi, right? It was like called an Oriental hors d'oeuvre, right? And I looked over at Carl, and he started going, drinking water. I said, what have you done? He said, I had that. I said, that was a blob of wasabi. He said, I thought it was one mushy pea.
That's a classy restaurant. They're serving one mushy pea.
Well, they do that, don't they?
Wow.
Small portions. It's all trendy, isn't it?
I love the fact that it's exactly the same thing. They've swapped beetle for wasabi and licorice for pea. You see things, you see something, you
It's a
think...
good job you remembered that anecdote, though, because he doesn't.
Exactly, yeah. In years to come, we'll be going, ate some wasabi once. Did you?
Yeah.
Well, according to Ricky, I did, yeah. I was in the Ivy. I thought it were mushy pea.
So hang on, I just want to go back to Mrs. Battersby because
What
you
other-
confidently said it was
haunted.
haunted, it was the most haunted place.
Yeah.
But you've got no real evidence for it because even you claim you had this encounter, you don't even remember it.
But you don't remember everything in life,
But you
do you?
supposedly had a conversation with a ghost.
I know, but I didn't know. When I was younger, I
But you
didn't think
remember
that
the
was a
specifics
ghost.
of an ant walking around.
Yeah, so you thought, so I see. If you'd have had the memory, it would just be a nice old lady on the end of your bed all night.
Right.
And then...
Then when I mentioned it, my mum was saying, what do you mean, Mrs. Battersby? Who's Mrs. Battersby?
Right.
When you're a kid, you're not terrified, are you?
No.
Nothing scares
I mean,
you.
I'm beginning to think who the fuck is Mrs. Battersby, I must admit. But
So, yeah, that was, but it was a weird place. I mean, there was no telly. All they had for sort of company was a calculator.
Carl, you're the strangest little man
That's
that's ever
extraordinary.
lived. Company after company.
No.
There goes Carl with his friend. What's his friend? Oh, it's a little...
It's a Sanyo 4197G.
I love that. That's amazing.
Oh, calculator, do that boobs thing again.
My mum and dad used to go out. I stayed in there.
Just shots of him with his calculator on the beach. It's Sunday. Maybe beautiful and
4 plus 16, what will it be?
My only friend was a calculator. Oh God! Just imagine the shots of him in Vietnam, just carrying Tommy.
When the batteries died, they had to have a funeral for him.
His batteries were all over the floor. Oh fucking hell! The only company was a calculator. Before I used to knock around with a brick. Oh fuck me. Carl, the human body is one of the things that you're actually genuinely fascinated in. This is one of the things that you admit is quite amazing, and I think we all agree with that. Here's some quite incredible stats and facts about the human body. What do you think of this? 50,000 of the cells in your body will die and be replaced with new cells, all while you're listening to this sentence.
Go on.
Well, that's it.
What's the sentence?
That was the sentence.
What was the sentence again?
Well, it doesn't matter. The sentence doesn't matter. 50,000 just dying and being replaced in that time.
But what are they doing?
Different cells do different things. Some are taste buds. Some carry hemoglobin and oxygen to other cells.
Yeah.
Some are skin. Some are liver.
I've heard about skin. I've heard of that skin sort of...
What? What you heard? A rumour about skin. You heard about skin? What?
It's just it
Keeps
just,
all your stuff from falling on the fucking floor?
well, it's a thing that makes you what you are as well, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
More than anything.
Why?
Well, without the skin, you're just a skeleton. You look all the same.
No, you're not just a skeleton, no.
Other than your lungs and your heart and your kidneys and stuff. What I'm saying is,
I know,
went to
and all
that-
the flesh on top and all the blood vessels and all
I
the...
went to that bodies exhibition.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is it. He knows all about the human body and science because he went to the bodies exhibition.
Do you know where the German fella cuts bodies up?
Yes.
Now, he had a load of people on show. Could have all been the same family. Because everyone, without the skin on their head, looks the same. Other than height,
Yeah.
everybody looks exactly the same.
And that's why racism is so stupid.
Well, it's a good point. Good point, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's saying that, though, I did think most of them were Chinese.
What made you draw that conclusion?
It's just the eyes.
They didn't have any eyelids!
Honestly, if you've seen it, it looks, there's something that, and they're a bit mad, aren't they? They do all that endurance stuff, and I thought, this is the ultimate way to go, isn't it?
I think that's Japanese, yeah. Just
Is it?
completely different race, culture, country, nation.
Right, well, the Japanese then, I reckon they've donated their body to it.
You started off saying you cannot tell anything about where they come from because they haven't got any skin.
It was just the eyes.
It didn't occur to you, I mean, was there not any information saying where the bodies were sourced from?
They don't tell you, they just tell you that if you want to be part of an exhibition later in your life, put your name down.
And what did you learn about the body from this exhibition?
Well, I told you. You know, we all look similar. At the end of the day, your skin is what makes people...
Look different.
Yeah, that's the bit that makes you look like you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's the bit that you can tell how old somebody is.
Yeah,
like
that's what you recognise. You don't
That's what-
recognise someone's skeleton and their brain.
Unless it's the Elephant Man. But then again, with the skin on, I couldn't tell you how old he was. There's something about his head and everything that he's ageless. He could buy a packet of fags and be underage. He could get on a bus and say he's an OAP. I have not got a clue how old the Elephant Man was. There's no distinguishing things for his age, is there? But with most people, it's the skin that does it. Strip all that away, and they were all stood upright as well. They weren't sort of hunched.
Right.
Unched.
They'd been straightened up.
Not unched then. Is that the German bloke? Unched.
But what did I learn? That's what you're asking me.
Yeah, what did you learn?
could I answer that?
Sure.
Fuck all, probably.
Oh, there we are.
As Bill Shankly once said, some people think football is a matter of life and death. I assure you, it's much more serious than that. The World Cup is the most watched sporting event in the world, with 32 teams battling it out for the most coveted prize in football. For the first time in history, an African nation will host the tournament this year. Seen as controversial by some, and by others as an example of soccer's ability to be progressive and inspiring. How will England fare? Which teams are the front runners, and who are the rank outsiders? To discuss the beautiful game, I'm joined by Stephen Merchant, award-winning writer and graduate of the University of Warwick.
Hello.
And Karl Pilkington, a man with a head like a fucking football. An orange one.
All right.
Oh, I'm finished. Cut!
Alright.
What are you doing?
Try to calm my gums down.
We don't do it with water.
What do you do it with?
You're trying
You
to
do it
calm your
with,
guns.
you do it with meditation and hard drugs.
What's the problem with your gums?
When I'm stressed out, my teeth know.
What? What do you mean?
Say that again.
When I'm sort of stressed out, me gums and my teeth know before I do. It's like a weakness.
So what's up? You got a toothache then? I thought you went to the dentist.
I did the other week.
Well, what's wrong with your teeth then? It's just
I
because
don't
you're
know.
stressed.
I don't know.
Why
I
are
don't
you
know.
stressed? What have you got to be stressed about?
I don't know. That's what's weird with stress, isn't it?
No.
Your body can be stressed without you realising. That's what
No,
kills
you're
people.
stressed. No. You're stressed because you feel stressed, and then your body gets weak because you're.
No, because I'm pretty good. I never feel stressed. That's part of my problem.
It's not
I
a
am
problem.
stressed, but I don't know about it. That's
That
why
doesn't make any sense at all.
it's number one killer.
What do you
never
mean?
get stressed.
If you don't feel stressed, how are you stressed?
But you must be stressed if your teeth
Right.
are telling
It's
you
like
stressed.
saying I didn't feel I had a pain, but apparently I did.
Listen,
Go on.
I was in Israel recently. I had a bag put over my head, chucked in the back of the van. Now the thing is, I kind of
Right.
thought, well,
It
this
wasn't a
isn't-
blind date, by the way, and he wasn't being arrested or kidnapped. It was a training thing, wasn't it, for
yes,
kidnap
but
situations?
I didn't know.
What, you didn't know they were going to do it?
Brilliant.
No, they don't tell me anything, do they?
That's good.
So what happened then?
So the thing is, that happened. I had a panic on a little bit. Afterwards, they took the bag off. I realised everything was all right. I was calm, but my body was shaking. And that's what I'm
That
saying
doesn't
to
make
you.
any sense.
My body, as far as my body was concerned, it had just been kidnapped.
Right.
But I knew I hadn't. Anyway, football.
You know the bag they put over your head? Was it like a tennis racket cover? What shape was it?
You sure they just didn't go and thought, oh, I thought I'd just bought the world's biggest orange?
Come on, let's do this.
Right.
Soccer.
Yeah.
The World Cup
We thought
2010.
we'd jump on the bandwagon with every other fucker who's doing a World Cup podcast.
Yep.
Even though we've got nothing to say about it.
Whoa!
What?
I got a few things.
Yeah, but it's going to be so disappointing. We're going to get excited. We're going to sit down. In fact, if you're listening to this now, England are probably out of the fucking World Cup.
I disagree with you. I'm right behind the lads.
Yeah? Right, okay.
But do you remember? Because I've watched the World Cup a few times with Ricky in different projects we've been doing in the past. We've been in different situations. Do you remember when the last time we qualified? We were doing a project, and we watched it together in a hotel room.
We're watching extras, right? And
We're making extras.
Making
watching
extras, yeah. And we watched it. We said, "Oh, go into my room." I went to Steve's room, but of course, in the hotel room, it was just like a big bed. So we sat on the bed together, and we thought that was a bit intense. So I put a line of pillows down.
But I don't understand what. He was put a line of pillows between us. Now he knows I'm not going to jump on him.
No, I know.
He's not going to jump on me.
No.
But he's still terrified that some kind of paparazzi is going to sort of parascend down the building and peer in and take a photo of us. And that's before we've got time to explain that we're just watching the football. It's already printed going, well, this is clearly evidence of their game. There's no way that they could possibly be sat on a bed just as friends.
No, but hold on though. Why were we naked? Why didn't we just pop some trousers on?
But I seem to remember that even though it was my room, you forced me to sit in the chair. It was one of those really uncomfortable box chairs.
I said it's weird. I can't get excited. We're having a beer, okay? So now we're drinking. Now we're drinking in bed. On the bed.
In bed?
No. We had our clothes on. We're on the bed watching football. But I couldn't go, "Come on, England," with a little man sitting next to me in the bed.
Not little man at all.
No, big man. And so I just thought, let's pop the pillows down. That wasn't enough. I said, "Steve, I can't do this. I can't watch football with a man on a bed." I said, "So go in the chair." And he sat
So I sat in this chair, which is, for a man of my size, those tiny little crappy hotel box chairs are no good. It's 90 bloody minutes plus the interview. It was my room. I was furious.
I felt like I was, like an old rich man just waiting to die, and my little manservant used to come and sit and watch football with me
Exactly,
in the last days
The last
of my
days.
time. I'm in bed going, "Oh, it's gone again." He goes, "All right, I'm up later. Look, Rooney's taking a penalty." "No, it's gone. It's all out." I go, "Oh dear." So, yeah, let me clean it up. We can put this on pause. It's Sky Plus.
Let's open a window.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the most often I think football fans are very homoerotic. They're hugging each other, jumping on each other, swapping shirts and stuff. So there's nothing wrong with it being intimate watching a football game.
Yeah, but I don't think gay people do that. Gay people don't run around hugging each other and swapping shirts, do they? They get stuck in. Carl, would you sit on a bed, right, with Stephen in a hotel room, right, watching football? Okay, you're pouring each other wine and beer and shouting.
Well, no, there wasn't that music playing. There was the roar of the crowd and John Motson doing commentary. It wasn't. It's not a sexy sound at all.
What do you think, Carl? Someone said, "Oh, come to my room. We're watching football." You got there and he went.
Well, who was on the bed
That's not what
first?
happened.
Who was on the bed first?
Well, he probably got up to answer the door. So I don't know. I came in. I thought, well, there's only a bed here. We sat down. We thought, yeah.
No, but it wasn't. It was a chair there. So
Well, yeah, but you know full well that if you're in a room with Ricky, he's the one who's going to leap straight on the bed and demand that you.
I just took the chair.
Well, why would you be concerned with lying on a bed next to me?
What's up with that?
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Why is it weird? I don't understand this.
Because
I've changed my tune.
it's a bit weird lying on a bed with a mate just watching football.
Yeah, you don't do that when you go around a house, do you?
Yeah,
You
but
don't
it's
pop
because
on-
you have a sofa and things. We didn't have that in the
Yeah,
room.
but when you visit someone in hospital, you don't say, "Move over." You don't pop yourself down next to him. You sit on the chair next
No,
to
because
him.
you're not there in a relaxed situation for 90 minutes enjoying a game of sport. It's just a more formal environment. Because you're quite a sport fan, aren't you, Carl?
Yeah, but not in. I don't like getting into things too much because it can
Well,
only
that's
be
true.
disappointing.
I've never seen him get into anything, to be quite honest.
No, I am a football fan, but I've got it now to a point where if they lose, it only bothers me for about half an hour,
Yeah.
and then I move on. Because the thing is, I'm not in control of it. There's nothing I can do to alter that team. If I could go in and say, listen, you're lazy, you get your finger out, you move up front, but it's different. But it's totally, it's like getting annoyed with nature. There's nothing you can do. So let it happen, watch it if you want, but don't get annoyed about it, because it's totally out of your hands.
Interesting that Carl's team tactics also sounds like he could be directing a gay porn. You get your finger out, you get up front. You're lazy.
Oh, that's amazing. What do you think of these people, though? I love it that everyone's an expert. Everyone's a pundit. You see these fat people in pubs going, well, he's lost a few yards up front. Yeah, you fucking score a goal then, fatty.
Wearing a football top.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Exactly, yeah.
They shouldn't make them for them. Shouldn't make them in that size. It should be one size only. If you're fit enough to play football, you can wear one. If you're a fatty, you're not. It looks ridiculous anyway.
But what's that? That's what he was talking about.
So you were a big fat slob with his belly out in an England shirt going, I could score from there. Go on then, let's have a go.
Hey, listen, calm down. Don't be slagging off the fans, because that's what it's all about. Football's all about the supporters, isn't it? You know, let's not forget these people paid millions to entertain us. If we want to drink till we're fat and eat pork pies and then put on an England shirt, we'll do it. That is the British way, that is the English way, that is what we won a war for.
What difference does it make if we win or lose? That's what I always look at, the end result.
How can you say you like football and then give us that argument? The only reason to watch football is the excitement of the challenge.
Yeah, it's entertainment.
No,
it is
and
entertainment.
a bit of skill. It's nice to see a bit of skill.
But
and
only because it's entertaining.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, enjoy the game for what it is, and then forget about it. If Fat Bob in the pub, he's got his football top on, he gets all annoyed when England, lose.
Yeah.
What difference does it make? What difference does it make if they lose there or lose in the final?
Well,
what's the point?
Well, I'll tell you what difference it makes. I knew a Fat Bob, okay? That wasn't his name, but I'm changing the name to protect the innocent. And him. And he's not innocent, right?
Was it Fat Dave?
It was a big fat bloke, right? And he worked on one of the crews that used to bring in equipment where I used to work at the Students' Union, okay? And he was massive, right? And I think it was 1990 or 1992, the Euro, right, when England got knocked out, and he went mental, and he was so angry, he went out and he wanted retribution, okay? Luckily there were no German people around, but the closest he could find was a sausage van, some poor bloke who delivered sausages, and he turned it over. He got the van and he turned it over, because it was selling sausages, so he thought that's German enough.
No, well, if he's fat, he's probably just annoyed that it wasn't open.
As Aldous Huxley once said, man is an intelligence in servitude to his organs. Made from the same stuff as algae, the human body has evolved into the most complex organism in the universe. An animal with power of introspection, conceiving complex metaphysical notions of morality, beauty, and love, while at the same time battling time, illness, and even death with even more sophisticated scientific weaponry. While we may still marvel at its complexity, what do we know about the human body? What are its wonders and limitations? And with scientific and medical technology moving ever forward, how will the human body evolve over the centuries to come? To discuss these questions and more, I'm joined by Stephen Merchant, award-winning writer and graduate of the University of Warwick. Hello. And Karl Pilkington, a man without formal academic qualifications or any awards to speak of, but he's good at other things. Cleaning windows, for example, with his fucking tongue, Gump.
It's a bit harsh, isn't it? Alright.
All your cells die and are replaced many times over in your life, except the brain cells. You only lose them. You lose hundreds and millions and trillions, right? And you've still got plenty left, don't worry. Or most people have. So only a small percentage of the cells you're born with remain yours, the brain cells. So supposing you're 99% different all the time, you're changing, is that the same person? Well, you'd say, yeah, because you've got the important ones, the brain cells, which keeps your memory, your personality, your input, the you.
But then, as we talked before, if you took your brain and put it in someone else, would you be the same person? You know,
Well, then,
that's it.
yeah,
What defines the person?
Yeah,
It's the brain, isn't it?
It is
that
the brain, but then if you look different, you'd be treated differently, and you have a different personality. You could still the same person, but people change anyway. People's personalities change, and if you're in a car accident and you lose all your memories, you've got the same hardware. People have had complete personality changes.
Particularly through car. I knew someone who knew someone whose girlfriend was in a terrible accident, and she lost a lot of her memory, and so the person she was with, her boyfriend or fiance, she no longer related to them in the same way. And equally, he obviously that wasn't the same woman that.
Yeah,
you
but was it
in
his
love
fault?
with.
Was it his fault?
Wasn't his
What's
fault?
that
No,
got to do
no.
with it? What's that got to do with it?
No, was it his fault? Was the accident his
Well, what's
fault?
that got to do with it?
Because you would be fed up, wouldn't you?
That's a completely different point that he was making.
No, it wasn't. He said
Yeah.
a woman had an accident.
Yeah, but we were talking about, are you the same person?
Well, hang on, let's hear what Carl's point
Go on.
is.
You said,
Yeah.
you know, this woman was in an accident.
Yeah.
It's terrible, that. It's sad.
Yeah.
Now, all I'm saying is
Little bit of opinion just popped in there. Terrible, that. Sad. Yeah.
she went off him.
I'll pass on your condolences.
Yeah.
She went off the fella.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, you're saying, oh, it's because a brain had a knock and went, oh, I'm not into him anymore. But all I'm saying is, if it was his fault who was driving the car and it happened because of him, you would sort of go,
Yeah, but
"You
that's
idiot."
not the point I was making at all.
It's not,
it was
is it?
it,
It's
A,
not,
he
it's
wasn't
not.
involved, but B, it was because she got a form of amnesia, so she didn't relate to him in the same way, because the life they'd spent together, she no longer had a memory of, and equally, when he was talking to her, she was no longer the person that he'd first met. Do you see what I mean? So that's what my point was, not because he was in...
Yeah, no, I can understand that. That doesn't surprise me that much, I suppose. At the end of the day, it is what you go through, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can hark back. You can talk about stuff.
Arp back. You can arp back.
Is that what a good relationship is based on? If there's a lot of young people out there listening, they're wondering what to look for.
I think that's the best thing about getting old, isn't it? You
Yeah.
can sit down and do nothing but think about a lot. If you're a baby, you've done now, you're lying there, you can't walk. I can't remember being a baby, and I put that down to it being boring. Because you only remember the good things.
remember your birthday.
No, it's you remember the good things in life, don't you? I'm quite happy I can sit down for a good hour or so and just think back and go, oh, that was good.
When was the last time you reminisced?
Well, my mum and dad have been round, haven't they? So, been reminiscing a lot.
Yeah.
What were you thinking about?
We're just chatting about Tic Tacs.
One of the great memories, yeah. The happy memories.
No, because you see, here's the thing. You're saying how that woman changed when she had her head caved in.
He never said that.
What did you? Well, the brain accident.
Brain accident, yeah.
The Tic Tacs. Now, I used to love them
Yeah.
when I was younger.
Yeah.
My dad got a load of them.
What, this year?
No,
Just
no,
recently?
years
Oh,
ago.
years ago,
Like
right.
years ago when I loved them. I said I loved Tic Tacs. Me.
Yeah.
He met one of his mates.
You didn't nick him from the sweet shop?
No,
No, that's what
he
we
knew
did,
some mate who could get his hand on a load,
Right.
and he
Thief,
must have
he was a
got
thief.
he must have got about 30 crates of Tic Tacs.
30 crates of Tic Tacs.
Honestly, with like about 24 on each crate. We got them, stuck them in a cupboard under the just in the kitchen, in the corner.
Yeah.
Now I worked my way through about 6 crates. It's quite happy.
When? In how long?
I don't know, in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks or something.
Right.
And then after that, I'm getting sick of these.
Right.
Yeah. You were minty fresh, but you were sick of
lovely
them.
fresh breath.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I haven't got that much more to tell you about it. It's just.
So
I just
this, sorry, whoa. Bear in mind, this was something he was recently reminiscing with his parents about. They were sat round, and we've already learned up to an hour could go by reminiscing. Sat around for an hour, talking about the great
I've already
Tic
run
Tac
out of
saga.
responses. I've got
Yeah.
nothing to say about
No
that.
opinion on
I mean,
that.
I was nearly going to say, what do you do with the empty little flicky Tic Tac boxes?
Yeah, but then you realise that that's utterly dull and boring.
Well,
and not
I
of any interest.
was struggling. I don't know what this anecdote is, other than a bloke. Other than you said your dad, I like Tic Tacs, mate. He went, all right, I talked to Albert. Albert, you got Tic Tacs? I've got 30 crates, if that'll do, yeah? Yeah, bring him round. Put him under cupboard. He's got through 12 crates. What's his breath like? Fucking lovely, but he's been sick all over the cunting place. Oh, do you want some more? No, of course we fucking don't. You'll talk about that in a few years' time. Of course we will, for about a fucking hour.
No.
Then we bring it up in an audio book.
But I think that's how we got onto it, because even though I tried to get rid of a load, I used to give them to mates, take them to school, say, have some Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
You can have them for free. We used a load in the cat litter tray.
No,
we
you
did.
didn't.
We did. It
No,
was
you
just
didn't.
ways of getting rid of them.
Jesus Christ.
Sort of freshy smell, isn't it? It's
That's
the same
amazing.
sort of condensity in that, isn't it?
Condensity, it is the same condensity.
Condensity.
Yeah, so I got rid of them like that. And then the weird thing was, even though I'd got shut of them all, you'd be backing up and you'd always hear one ting its way up the tube.
Is tinging its way up the tube. It's tinging its way up the tube. It's tinging its way up the tube. Ding dong, ping pong. It's tinging its way up the tube.
That sounds like something from Willy Wonka.
Oh god!
No, it's just I'm just demonstrating that because that's how many of them there were around the house. You'd drop them, they'd go in every corner and that, like Pac-Man or something. They'd be
That's
everywhere. You'd be vacuuming
amazing.
up, tinging it up.
Sheila's getting married. Hannah gets confetti. Don't buy any confetti. Go to cupboard under stairs.
So yeah, that's a little memory there, isn't it?
It is a little memory.
Now
It's a really little memory.
The strange Tic Tac house in Salford, where everything is made of Tic Tacs.
Wow, that must have been a hell of a time you had with your parents there. The old Tic Tac
No, but it's
reminiscence.
better. You see, you're saying, oh, what a boring story that is. But when
I
your
see
mum
you've
and dad,
re-gravelled the drive. Yeah, smell it. suck the drive if you want. Fucking hell.
no, but it's different. When my mum and dad are there and they can remember that, and they're going, oh yeah, the Tic Tac incidents and stuff.
What's known as the Tic Tac incident.
The Tic Tac incident.
Let us never speak of the Tic Tac incident.
Yeah, I just imagine the clock ticking. There, it's Christmas Day. I go, what are you smiling at? Oh, remember it used to ting up the tube.
You should think about selling this to Hollywood.
Listen, what do you remember then?
What do
I
you
remember?
That's
Wow.
an amazing thing to
That's
say.
a difficult question to answer.
Yeah, I don't. Nothing at all.
Why, out of interest though, and this will sound naive, why don't we remember the very early moments of our lives? Why is it? Is it because it would be too harrowing to remember the point at which we sort of born? Because I don't really remember anything from those first few years. Why is it? Is it just because the brain's not fully formed at that moment?
I don't know.
The memory's not sufficiently developed.
I honestly,
It's got to be trauma, hasn't it? It's the things. Again, we were talking about me being younger, and the youngest I could remember back to was 1978.
How old were you then? When were you born?
72.
What?
was
You
summer holidays.
you couldn't remember earlier than 6. You
Um,
can remember back to about 2 or 3. Most people. What?
no way. My mum and dad don't even remember them. Because you're not doing anything. This is what I'm saying.
Mum and Dad don't even remember me then. That's amazing.
Because they pinpoint
They remember
things.
all the Tic Tacs they've ever eaten.
Yeah. Do you remember when Carl was 6? Of course I do. 5? Yeah. 4? Yeah. 3? No. 2? No.
Because you're not doing anything, are you?